It was a warm spring afternoon in downtown Chicago, and the streets were busy with the usual hustle of traffic, office workers, and the occasional street performer. Among the cars lined up at a red light, one man in a sleek black SUV seemed particularly impatient. He glanced at his watch, tapped the steering wheel, and let out a frustrated sigh. Without a second thought, he opened his drink, drained the last sip, and tossed the cup out the window. It bounced on the asphalt, skidding into a puddle. A few seconds later, he reached for a candy wrapper, then an empty snack bag, and carelessly threw those out too. He barely noticed a street cleaner working a few meters ahead, quietly sweeping up debris with precision and care. The cleaner's young daughter was helping him, her small hands methodically picking up stray papers and placing them in the broom's dustpan. "Sir, there's a dustbin just a few meters away. You could have used it," the cleaner said gently, his voice calm, though firm. The man looked down his nose at him. "What? Why stress myself when you're literally paid to do just that?" His voice carried a sharp, dismissive edge. The young girl, no older than 10, bent down and began picking up the scattered trash from the asphalt, carefully placing it back into the man's car. "You should be ashamed of yourself, sir," she said softly, her voice steady, yet brimming with moral conviction. The man's eyes flared. "You little rat. You think you know anything? Your poor dad should teach you manners before you start correcting strangers." Fuming, he stepped out of his SUV, opened the trunk, and began dumping all the garbage he had in his car right onto the road. Bottles, wrappers, empty cans, all tumbled onto the pavement. The cleaner simply shook his head. "Trash doesn't speak, but it says a lot about the person who throws it," the man heard quietly from behind him. "Shut up, trash man. If there were no trash on the road, you'd be jobless, fool," the man barked, climbing back into his car and driving off, leaving the piles of garbage behind. As the day turned into evening, the man drove to pick up his daughter from school. He pulled into the parking lot and watched her hop out of the car. She ran across the lot laughing, unaware of the danger lurking beneath her feet. Then it happened. Her foot landed on something sharp. She screamed. "Dad, help!" she cried. He rushed over to her side. A rusty nail had pierced her foot, blood seeping between her small toes. Panic surged through him as he knelt, trying to comfort her. "Who are the idiots dumping trash on the road?" she cursed, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Oh God, I won't be able to walk again." The words hit him like a thunderbolt. He said nothing, his mouth tight with guilt. The realization struck him hard. His own careless actions, done in mere seconds, had contributed to his daughter's pain. The selfish disregard he had shown towards someone else's hard work, the street cleaner and his daughter, had come back to harm the one he loved most. As he gently carried her to the car, his mind raced. He remembered the girl's words earlier. Asterisk, "You should be ashamed of yourself, sir." Asterisk, the lesson that once felt like a mild annoyance now weighed heavily on his conscience. He realized that the consequences of our actions are rarely isolated. They ripple outward, touching those we love in ways we never anticipate. Driving home in silence, he vowed to change. He would teach his daughter by example that respecting others and caring for the environment were more than civic duties. They were responsibilities that could protect the people you love most. Take a moment today to consider your actions. How often do we disregard the small rules or conveniences, only to see our carelessness affect those around us? Share this story with someone you care about and remind them that kindness and responsibility are lessons worth teaching and learning. The following days were different. He made a conscious effort to teach his daughter about responsibility, picking up litter in their neighborhood together, explaining why small acts of respect mattered. He even approached the street cleaner to apologize, offering his help to maintain the streets. At first, the cleaner was skeptical, but slowly, he saw the change in the man. Months later, the man looked back on that spring afternoon with clarity. The incident with the nail, the pain in his daughter's eyes, and the wisdom of the cleaner's child had shifted his perspective forever. Trash, he now understood, was never just about waste. It was a reflection of the heart, of the care, or disregard, that we pour into our surroundings. If this story moved you, take action today. Pick up a piece of litter, teach a child about responsibility, or simply pause before you act selfishly. Our world, and the people we love, are shaped by the choices we make. Comment, yes, if you promise to leave a better world for the next generation.